Yes. So their dresses made with precious stones, you know. So I was looking at the wealth there, and they make money because the Marine Kingdom wants to be in control of the finances. When you have the money, everybody else works for you. Everybody, it's easy to enslave everyone. So Mami Water explained to me that she had children.
Right.
But some of her children are here on land and other children are in the water. Why she did that is to balance, because she wants those on land to be able to help them accomplish their mission. Whatever they want, whatever task they have here on earth, those children of theirs help them to accomplish the missions.
She has children.
Yes.
Right.
And then those children communicate with the children in the water. They are siblings. They are related. And she told me that Jezebel is also one of her children. But Jezebel controls everything that is done in the waters.
So
it's a
Jezebel's
spirit
the
that
offspring.
sits on the waters.
She's the offspring
of Mami Water.
Mami Water.
And in fact, I saw Jezebel also having a throne because she controls the activities on the water.
Right.
But she torments anybody that has the calling of God, servants of God, and anything that is of Christ. She's against it.
Yeah.
She hates it that bad. So she explained to me that for her, she does not show up all the time. Most of the time, it is the children that work. While she sits and then she gives orders. And then the children work. So Jezebel sits in many people, even on earth. She's not only centered in the water. Of course, the Marine Kingdom is controlling most of the things on earth. So she explained to me that even during the time of Jesus, when he chose the disciples, they also positioned one of their children, and that was Judas Iscariot.
Yes.
And she mentioned the fact that Jesus identified him as a son of perdition, and he was irredeemable. No, like Jesus prayed for Simon Peter when he realized that he's going to fall into temptation. Jesus knew that Simon Peter was redeemable. But for Judas Iscariot, Jesus could not do anything. There are some people who cannot be saved. No matter how we preach the gospel, they cannot be saved because they belong to the Marine Kingdom.
Right.
They are not 100% human beings. And that's why when he committed that, and now Judas Iscariot is waiting for judgment.
Right.
Yes. So in hell.
Waiting for the judgment of eternal damnation, which is the lake of fire.
Yes. But the other thing you should know is God used Satan to work against himself.
Yes.
Because he knew that Satan would be there to fight. But the time, he could not do it before the time.
That's actually a pattern that God has. He always uses the same thing to fight against the same thing. In other words, he fights fire with fire. For instance, when the children of Israel had left Egypt, they sinned in the wilderness. They began to fornicate, and serpents began to bite them. They cried out for healing. They cried out for redemption. They cried out for forgiveness. And God instructed Moses to put a serpent upon a pole and raise it up. So it was a serpent that they looked at that was to fight against the serpents that had bitten them. And actually, even in medicine, if you're bit by a snake, the venom that enters in you is what kills you. But if you can identify what snake killed you, bit you at the hospital, they can provide an antidote for that venom, an anti-venom for that venom, for that specific venom. When man sinned, God took on the body of a man to redeem man who had sinned in his flesh, etc., etc. So I see what you're saying.
Kindly read the meaning of perdition, because some person will not understand what we are talking about, but it's not a good word. But Jesus used it on Judas because that is exactly who he was. He was just describing Judas Iscariot as a son of perdition, meaning there's nothing he could do about him. He knew who he was all along, and he knew that the enemy would use him at a certain point at the right time. Yeah.
So the dictionary definition of the word perdition in Christian theology, it is a state of eternal punishment and damnation into which a sinful and unrepentant person passes after death. It is complete and utter ruin. So he was the son of complete and utter ruin.
Yes.
Right.